Hey guys, skimming off the grid here. E3 2019 had a plethora of great moments, but in today's episode, we're going to talk about the 5 things that blew our frickin' minds. What are we drinking today?
They're drinking Dragons and YumYums. It's a pale ale by DogFish Head in collaboration with the Flaming Lips. Wow.
YumYums? All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about E3 2019.
Girl J-Love81 and you're watching my boys gaming off the grid.
All right, here we go. E3 2019 is up and vanished like a fart in the wind. And you know what? It was pretty darn good.
Oh, it was incredible. So many amazing things were announced. As a gamer, it's awesome. E3 is like Christmas for a gamer. So let's talk about our top 5 things that were announced during E3.
First thing we want to talk about is kind of breaking down a barrier that has been there for a while. And Banjo-Kazooie is coming to Smash Ultimate.
Yes.
Now, we typically don't get too jacked up for characters being added to Smash, but there's something about this that makes us wonder, what could this turn into? Could they parlay this into a new Banjo-Kazooie game or something like that?
Yes, it's much deeper than just getting Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, it's awesome that he's going to be a character because I love those games.
Yeah.
And he's such a sweet character, but Microsoft and Nintendo are like coming together, it feels like, and they could be working on new games. What if Rare comes back to Nintendo, man? So many amazing games.
Yeah, so Microsoft, for those of you who don't know, owns the rights to the Rare games. So that's why there's been kind of that rift there between the companies. But as a gamer, we don't care about that stuff. We just care about the games, right?
Yes.
And most gamers play a little bit of everything. So to get Banjo-Kazooie in Smash, that's really cool. But more importantly, this is the first step in bridging that relationship to bring maybe the old Rare characters back to the Nintendo console. So here's to dreaming. A boy can dream, right?
A boy can always dream. And speaking of dreaming, some dreams just came true with our number 4 pick, Breath of the Wild 2. Yes.
Yeah, so Breath of the Wild obviously was just a groundbreaking game in the Zelda series and just in general with the way they did that game. Now, there are some hardcore Zelda fans that, you know, maybe don't consider it enough of a Zelda game or something to that effect. I just like it because I think it is a great game.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to be a Zelda fan to be a fan of this game.
Yeah, it's just really neat. And, you know, I do miss kind of the dungeon system, and I miss those old games, but I can go back and play those old games. And to get another one so quick, it feels like, is just really awesome. So it was great news, and honestly, I didn't see that one coming so fast anyways.
Yeah, me neither. Now let's move on to number 3, and our good friends over at Konami dropped some huge news. They are going to release a TurboGrafx-16 mini console. What?
Yes, and the reason I think this is so cool, kind of like why we like the Banjo-Kazooie news so much, is some of these lesser known consoles getting a miniature version that has the games packed on there is awesome for people who don't have the money to collect and go back and get those games. It makes me wonder, you know, if this does well, does that, you know, end up with Sega maybe doing something with the Sega Saturn
or the Dreamcast?
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
All systems that are a pain to collect for, and you know, if I ever find those on the cheap, yeah, I'll buy the original hardware, but I just can't. You know, there wasn't enough of an install base.
And I'm really excited too because I don't know that much about the TurboGrafx-16 like at all.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to be able to just experience it on the cheap and have a mini console. I'm a huge fan of the mini consoles.
Yeah, and I know there's some really good shooters on the TurboGrafx-16 that we have dabbled in a little bit, and I've got, you know, like from the Wii download shop and things like that. But as a whole, I'm with you. I don't know much about the system, so I'm just excited. And hopefully the emulation turns out right, and it turns out to be a good thing for modern and retro gamers alike.
Now let's move on to our number 2 pick, and this is taking modern gamers and retro gamers and mashing them together with the new Arcade 1-Up news.
Turtles in a half shell, turtle power.
Woo!
This is amazing. The Arcade 1-Up cabinets, this second wave has been great. We still love our Final Fight cabinet, but holy hell, this is a 4-player beat-em-up cabinet of one of the best beat-em-ups of all time.
Yes, Turtles in Time. It comes with 2 Turtles games. And then not only that, they announced a Marvel cabinet, which looks super incredible. And then they announced the cocktail table arcades. They have a Pac-Man one. They have the first ever split-screen Street Fighter one, which is so freaking cool. I don't think we have room in here to do it.
Yeah, that
so
would
I don't
be
think
cool.
we will get that, but those things are so sweet. We're just super excited about the 4-person Turtles cabinet. With all the other news in here, I feel like there's more things coming.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. Now, the fact that they're going with 4-player, do they eventually make bigger cabinets? You know, the other 4-player games that would be awesome to get would be like, you know, X-Men. That would be awesome.
Yes.
NBA Jam. We would love a 4-player
NFL
NBA Jam.
Blitz.
Yes. So, you know, just the fact that they are changing it up, they are evolving, is a good thing. And I know there's some arcade purists that turn their nose up at arcade 1-up, but you know what? For a couple casual guys that like to, you know, recreate that arcade experience in our game room on the cheap and have a couple beers, it is mighty fine porcupine for these two guys. So we're jacked up for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time cabinet. And it's got the original Turtles arcade game as well.
Yes, pizza time.
Yep.
Now, before we go on to our number 1 pick, let's talk about this beer.
This beer is by DogFish Head Brewery. They have done a lot of good beers, and this beer is very unique. It's a collaboration with a famous alternative rock
Yes,
band.
the Flaming Lips, and I love the way the bottle looks. It's so colorful, it's so sweet, and I love how they're partnering with bands. Bands, beer,
Yeah.
that's like the best thing. You just throw video games in there, and you got the best
Yeah,
freaking setup in the
absolutely.
world. This beer is really unique. It's a pale ale brewed with dragon fruit, yum berry, passion fruit, pear, and black carrot juices. Interesting lineup.
It is. It really comes across as kind of, to me, like a fruity IPA, kind of mixed with a sour. There is a bit of a tartness to it.
I think it's all the fruit and stuff, yeah.
But I have, this is our second round with this. We haven't done it on the channel, but we've had quite a few of these, and I'm really enjoying this beer, especially during this time of year. Like, this might end up being my summer beer for 2019.
Yeah, it's a really good, refreshing beer. I just wish the flavor would linger more. I feel like it dissipates really quickly.
It does. Dogfish Head is a great brewery. This is very unique beer. I cannot say that I've ever had a beer that quite resembles this one. And this is one I think if you see it out and about, it is worth the spend. It's a pretty decent beer.
Yes. Now let's move on to our number 1 biggest announcement from E3. I'll let you take it away.
So jacked up about this. They are remaking Panzer Dragoon.
Oh, yes.
A Sega Saturn classic. If you are into shooters, which we are, rail shooters, flying shooters, this is awesome. The footage we have seen so far is beautiful. The game was already beautiful before. And as any collector out there knows, the Panzer games, or Panzer Dragoon games on Sega Saturn, are not easy to come by. It really just gets the ball rolling in my head, and I hope it does so well, because I'm just thinking, does that mean they re-release the second one or remake the second one? And if they remade Panzer Dragoon Saga, which there's a whole history behind that, which would probably be very hard for them to do. I'd heard rumblings of it happening, but then when my eyeballs got to see it, I was like, holy cow.
The visuals look incredible, and it kind of reminds me of a more realistic Spyro, like the flying mechanics. It could just be because they're both dragons.
And it might have something to do
and
with
my
it.
brain
Yeah.
is really simple, so I'm like, Dragon, Spyro. Makes sense. But it just looks so good, and I'm so excited to play this.
Yeah, it is one of those things. It's just, we keep saying it all the time. What an awesome time to be a gamer.
Yes.
From modern games to retro games and everywhere in between. You know, we just did our episode of the top 10 games we're excited for 2019. And none of these games that we're talking about here were on that list because we did that list before E3.
Before E3,
so there's
yeah.
10 things we're excited about. Then this news, and there were things, this was a hard list to narrow down to 5. Just an awesome time to be a gamer. No matter what console you own, no matter what retro consoles you own, it is just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to talk about. It's just hard not to get excited by the things that happened at E3 2019. In the comment section below, let us know what was your favorite thing that was announced or shown at E3 2019. We would love to hear it and interact with you in the comment section. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid.